help you out.
So.
All right, guys, a little bit of questions.
Kind of started off where Marcus left off or whatnot. A week ago today, Ryan was named quarterback. How have you seen him obviously handle that responsibility in practice over the last week and begin to prep for his first game, first start?
Yeah, he's done a nice job. He's definitely taken ownership. You know, if things weren't going the way we wanted them to or whatever, he would reload the play himself and get it right, make sure the reps were right. So he's done a nice job. You know, now it's just about him getting fine-tuned with the game plan and making sure he's prepared and making sure he knows exactly what we're trying to do.
And he said another reason to do that in advance was to make sure that he had time to maybe just get in sync with all those guys. And did you see that start to develop as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, last week we spent a lot of time cleaning up fundamentals and doing some things, and so he got the reps with the guys he needed to get and make sure that they were right and on the same page, and we'll continue to do that this week.
What's maybe his biggest strength he brings to that position, or something that you really like about it, sets him apart a little bit?
I think his accuracy is he's been a very accurate quarterback throughout fall camp and even last week, and does a nice job, pocket awareness. You know, now all of these things are things that we haven't seen necessarily come to fruition in a game yet, but those are the things that we're hoping to continue to stand out, and we're confident they will.
The last couple times that Boise State's had a new quarterback in a big game like this, it's been a rough game for the quarterback. Not having been in this situation before, how hard is that on that guy to all of a sudden be in that spot?
It's all about preparation. You know, if he's prepared and has a plan on every play of what he wants to do with the football and where it needs to go, and he can manage his emotions, then we're going to be just fine. You know, and the past is a past. I don't know. I wasn't here, so I really don't know anything about that. But, you know, the quarterbacks that I've been around, their first games, they've been all right.
What stands out to you about Washington's defense?
Well, one, they're very well coached, very sound, very long and athletic. You know, they've got the Feeney kid as well as the Littleton, Corey Littleton, and both of those guys are really long and athletic and do a great job playing in space. So that's the first thing that stands out to you. They're very athletic in the back end. Buda Baker can really run. Made a lot of plays last year on makeup speed alone and has a knack for finding the football. So those things stand out. And then, you know, they're very well coached. I mean, those guys, you know, the defensive line last year was probably the strength of their team. And, you know, Coach Choate does an unbelievable job coaching those guys. And so I expect them to be very solid and very physical.
With the connection between Marcel and Pete Kwiatkowski, is there a lot of similarity in terms of what you see on film that they do defensively and what you see in practice every day from your own defense?
You know, you always try to find similarities so you can tie it into your guys with the same as principle, but there's differences. There's noticeable differences, and I'm not going to say what they are, but there are noticeable differences. Coach Yates definitely has his own twist on his defense, and there's definitely things you see that are Coach Kwiatkowski's own tendencies himself too.
What's this like for you this week to make out a game plan and get your play sheet and be able to go out there Friday night and call plays for the first time?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's honestly, it reminds me of the bowl game in I guess that would have been 2014 January when Coach Arson had taken this job, and we had to put that together and had 2 or 3 weeks to put it together, and so that's what it reminds me of the most. But it's fun. It's why you coach. Our guys are ready to play against other people, and it's interesting just with all the dynamics and all that. But at the end of the day, it's the first game of the season, and it never goes the way you expect it to go. So no matter how week 1 goes, that doesn't tell you anything about how the conference is going to go.
So who's going to be in the box with you?
Coach Marks will be up in the box with me, and then we'll go from there.
You talk about Coach Kwiatkowski and Coach Yates sort of having their own style and personality. Is there something you'd like at the end of the season people to say Coach Drinkwitz's offense is like?
We executed. Yeah. As long as our players execute, it doesn't matter what you run on offense, whether it's Georgia Tech system or whether it's our system or whatever. It's all about player execution, and we believe in the fundamentals, and we believe in execution. And it's really not about me. I couldn't care less. As long as Boise State wins and we're successful, I couldn't care less what's written about me.
What kind of style or type of attributes do you want in an offense? What do you kind of want this to look like?
I want it to be Boise State's offense in 2015. I want it to be the very best possible offense that we can be, combined with the players that we have. And what that looks like will take on its own personality each and every week as we game plan. I know specifically that we're going to be, we're going to control the tempo of the game. We're going to establish the line of scrimmage, and we're going to execute. And as long as we do those three things, honestly, I don't know if that means that if we need to run the ball 55 times behind that offensive line to win the game, we'll do it. And if we need to throw the ball 55 times to win the game, we're going to do it. So at the end of the day, I want it to be the very best possible offense that we can be, and help us win football games. And all the style and all that, I'll let you all figure that out, because to me, it doesn't matter. As long as you're winning football games, then that's what matters.
Do you have a great feel for what it'll look like now, or is that something that through the first couple of games you get a better idea of kind of what this thing's going to
I know what it's going to look like Friday.
Yeah.
I feel very good about what we're trying to accomplish Friday, and if it looks the way it looks in my mind and Coach Harson's mind and that offensive staff room's mind, everybody will be excited. And if it doesn't and we win, I'll still be excited.
You're one of the few guys around here, coaching-wise, on either coaching staff that don't really have ties across. Is it a little bit of an odd situation for you that there's everybody's got kind of all these ties and you really don't?
No, no. It's for me. It's just week one opponent. For those guys, they got to deal with that all individually and all on their own and figure that out for themselves. But no, for me, it's kind of funny. I've met Coach Peterson one time, and that was during recruiting when we first got here. So I have no idea. I've never met Coach Wachowski or I don't know if I've met anybody on that staff before. No, I met Jimmy Lake one time. So that was when I was at Arkansas State.
Hurst was saying that the backup job is still competitive through the week. How do you handle that in terms of making sure you get enough reps for a guy to be ready to go, but also let those guys compete?
That's a great question. That's the benefit of having these 2 weeks. We were able to split the reps up, but we just got to make sure they're prepared and are answering questions in the meetings and doing the extra film study that they need to do.
You excited to get Ryan Finley in a game in this type of atmosphere? And one of the biggest things you said about a quarterback is just handling all the pressures of the position and whatnot. So you get him out there and see what he can do.
Yeah, this is one of those weird deals where your week one opponent is not a weird deal. It's a big game. When I was a high school coach, you had that first scrimmage, so you kind of could see what everybody was going to do and then coach it up for that week one. So, yeah, we're going to have to go out there and handle some stuff on the fly and see how things respond. But I'm confident in Ryan. We've given him enough scenarios, and he's played last year. He played in a good game against Air Force, and so, we have confidence in him. It's not like these guys have never played the game of football before, and the benefit is we are at home, and so that'll be good.
How much you played basically fourth quarter and some of the third?
Of that game?
Yeah, as opposed
I'd have to go back and
some
look.
of the other games came in for a series or two. How much will having played more of an extended time have helped him if he just basically kneeled every time he was in there, took a kneel down?
Well, game speed. That's the biggest, game speed and handling the 40-second clock and having officials and, recognizing when you have to get in and out of plays and get the offense set because time's running down. And so he'll have seen that stuff, and that'll be good. But, you're relying on his preparation. There's no doubt.
I know you weren't his position coach last year, but what was that like, you think, for him that, for you guys come in, he's got a bad shoulder, he wasn't recruited by you guys, and most of the other guys were, and then for him to come out of it as a starter a year and a half later, what's kind of that process been like for him?
I don't know. That's a great question for him, probably. He's handled it well, would be the thing that I could say about it. But, he's handled the process very well. He competed really well last year in fall camp and really gave us a lot to think about, with Grant. And so we felt confident in Ryan. And so, but you'd have to ask him about the process.
That it, guys? Thanks.
Thanks, Eli.
That's pretty light. That's pretty